Hello, folks. I'm Detroit Miracle. Yes, and indeed. Right now, I am here to review the trailer for the 1951 movie called Q Vadis. Yes, this is another biblical inspired epic in part because the movie pertained to the rule of Emperor Nero in Rome. And of course, at that time, there was a large Christian population and settlement growing in Rome. So Christianity was gaining steam at this time, or at that particular time. Q Vadis is set in that particular time when a lot of things happened. It is said that Rome was at its most decadent and most disdained in terms of immorals, but at the same time, it was deemed the light of the world, the center of civilization, as known to mankind there in terms of Rome's advancements in all areas that exist, of course, now today in ways which were an established thing back then, such as Rome building large cities with large big buildings and other complex working systems such as aqueducts, bathhouses, and etc. And of course, they built historic museums and libraries back then in terms of them having limited technology for building, and they didn't have super large bulldozers and things. So in this particular trailer, Quo Vadis, it showed the decadence of Rome because they had built or rebuilt or recreated Rome in almost its entirety as far as its lavish core nature, and of course its decadent over the top expenses in terms of the sheer look of it. So, and of course it showed, this particular trailer touched a bit on the Christian population in Rome, and Nero blamed the Christians for the Great Fire of Rome. They showed that a bit in this trailer too. So the whole population of Rome was mad at Nero because he was the emperor, he was in charge. So they were upset that he didn't prevent their homes and livelihoods from going up in smoke. So he blamed it on the Christian population. He said they started the fire there, but in fact they didn't, because it was speculated that Nero himself started the fire in order to clear enough land so that he could build his immense mega super palace, the Domus Aureus, and that would be the most decadent palace ever built of the ancient world. But that is another story. So I checked on this trailer because I wanted to see if I would want to sit through Quo Vadis, because I thought it was just another glamorous epic film of the past. But by watching the trailer, I learned that it was much, much more. It didn't focus as much on harshness and cruelty in ways that other major epics do, such as when they enslave people of those particular settlements who were enslaved by mighty empires or kingdoms thousands of years ago. So Quo Vadis, of course, involves all of that. Rome had slavery. Rome conquered nations and made its own nation even bigger and stronger. So I sat down to watch this trailer with, I had an open mind, but I must say that I found it very enjoyable. Okay, let me bring it to you right now in this review. Let me go back to that most recent occasion when I sat down to review this trailer for Quo Vadis. Okay. Wow. That's a lot of people. I believe it is said that this movie employed more than 30,000 people because people had to fill stadiums. Of course, they had to make up the armies because Rome was immense in populations, as well as its army sizes being that of tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands, filling up numerous legions. Okay, they're showing a lot of people in this trailer. The cameras similar photographies and all that. Everything looks great. They must have remastered this movie. It was made in 1951. It seems like they added a bit of modern technology to make it look better and more crisp. They're showing the emperor's palace. They're showing large scale feasts and celebrations. It is said that Rome was heavily doused in shame, iniquity, immoralness. They worshiped pagans, but Rome was incredibly decadent and prospering and impacting throughout the known world at that time. So they're showing the decadence of Rome. They're showing the fruits of their labors. They're showing beautiful Rome, Italy, which is a beautiful, decadent city, as recreated for the characterization now of that time. They're showing the emperor. It seems like he's overly lavished. He's overly indulging of things, and it ran him a little bit kooky in ways because he appears to be hearing voices in this scene. A couple of his guards are shown standing by. I must say that Nero is dressed to the T in fine linen. He's wearing gold and proper imperial garb, of course. They're touching on the Christian settlement a little bit, which was an immense size of the population in Rome. And the Christians were in the minority, but they still were in thousands to the tune of, but the overall Rome population was said to be at 1 million. Okay, they're showing that there were different love stories going on, so they're showing a few makeout scenes between guys and pretty women. And those guys are wearing fancy clothes. So, of course, they're either prestigious, noble, or they're highly ranked in the militaries. All right. Okay, I don't want to spoil the rest for you. I must say that this trailer is amazing. I like it. It looks like it cost millions of dollars to create this movie. Yeah, but okay, I recommend sitting down and seeing it. Indeed. Okay.